We're looking ahead to match 26 of IPL 2021. Royal Challengers Bangalore, Punjab Kings. This is Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout, powered by Intel. I'm Ronak Kapoor, and Dale Steyn and Dan Vettori are all set to join me.
We call it people technology.
Our first point is about Punjab's middle order, Dan, and whether it's time for them to just change things up. Just looking at Nicholas Pooran's form, the options are there. Moses Henriques hasn't quite had much of an impact. Just thoughts on whether they need to make some changes there?
I feel like they've put their line in the sand and they're going to back these guys, particularly Nicholas Pooran. I think they like him as a player, and they think that a breakthrough is coming for him. They have Mandeep Singh there, who's done well in the IPL in the past, but it feels like they've gone this far with this group of middle order batsmen that they're going to continue to back them. And as we've seen in the past, it is about their top three batsmen. If that top three can get going, then the middle order can complement it. So I feel like they're going to keep persevering them, particularly Hood is bowling for them, Henriques is bowling for them, and as I said before, they back Pooran to do well.
Is there a case to even change things up with the same personnel, Dale? Moses Henriques is batted higher in the IPL and in other leagues around the world. Nicholas Pooran is batted higher for them. Is there a case to just change things up with the same personnel?
I mean, they could. It really just depends on them. I've seen Moses bat a lot higher in Australia. He's actually become a really good batter. I think there was years back when he was playing with me at Sunrisers, he was batting quite low down the order, and we used him more as a bowler, like that kind of all-rounder. But lately, he's been doing a lot of batting, so they have that option. But Pooran, I think they back Pooran. He's great. I know he hasn't kicked off yet. He's hit a little bit unlucky, and in the last game when he had an opportunity to bat some time, you could just see he was a bit scratchy. Hadn't spent much time in the middle yet, and just looked like he was struggling for runs. But they're going to back those guys right now. You can see. And hopefully it comes good for them. I mean, they're always relying on KL. We always talk about it. They're always relying on KL and Mayank at the top there. But the overseas can also start to come to the party, Moses, Pooran. Once those guys get going, there could be a bit of change of luck for them.
All right. Now, RCB don't want any change of luck. They've had a great start to this season. But one of their key players, Dale, Yuzvendra Chahal, hasn't quite had much of an impact. Just 3 wickets in 6 games. Any idea why that's happened?
I know it's actually disappointing for me, because at the start of before the tournament started, I said I thought he was going to be one of the highest wicket takers, being back in India and a little bit of spinning conditions. I saw the way that he was bowling for RCB last year. He looked amazing, and just hasn't kicked on just yet so far. I mean, these things happen sometimes with spinners, but Siraj has looked amazing for them. He's kind of just gone he's just gone in one direction. It's amazing. His pace has gone up. He's looked confident. He's taken a lot of wickets. And he's kind of been Virat's go-to guy, whereas last year at the IPL, Chahal was Virat's guy. If he needed a wicket, he just threw the ball to Yuzi. This year, he's going to play every game, though. He's their best spinner. But he definitely needs to kick on and start to take a couple wickets, because he is that kind of bowler. He is a wicket-taking bowler.
Virat's actually looked at other guys as his go-to guy, whereas in the past it was always Chahal, go to him, get a wicket in any situation. Now he has other options, and we're even at the point now where Chahal's not bowling his full complement of overs, which you would have thought was unheard of before the season starts. But I actually think you can look for a turnaround in this next game and continue on from here at Ahmedabad, where the ground is bigger and it allows Yuzi's style of bowling to be even more effective.
Now, Punjab made one interesting change as they moved venues to Ahmedabad, and Dale, they went with Chris Jordan, gave him his first appearance. They've not gone back to Meredith and Jai Richardson since they moved from Mumbai. Should they stick with Chris Jordan for you?
He bowled nicely. I don't think he bowled badly, and he came out there and he gave them some runs at the back end. He gave them those runs that actually kind of could have made a game for them. Otherwise, it would have just been really boring to watch that innings unfold. So yeah, I mean, you would stick with him. I feel a bit rough for Jai. I think that he's bowled. He can bowl really quickly. He's a wicket taker too. But Jordan's come in. He's played one game and he did really nicely for them. And he looked up for it. He looked up for the challenge. So I don't think he'd miss out on the next one. I'd probably run with him for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's blaming him. Punjab managed only 123 that last game, Dan. But it's that sort of thing, right? You think Meredith or Jai Richardson, for the kind of money they paid for, should get more opportunity.
I think when you look at it on paper, Chris Jordan just looks like the right number 8 in terms of getting that batting balance right. They've obviously asked Dry to bat higher than he's possibly comfortable with, but yeah, I think Joe Richardson, he's performed for Australia. He's a quality international bowler, and he has that pace. And they paid all that money for him, so I would be surprised if he doesn't get another opportunity soon. Albeit that Jordan had a really good game in the last game and looked to fill the role that Punjab desperately need by giving them a bit more balance.
Now, as far as RCB go, one change that they tend to make often is Rajat Patidar. They brought him back last game and he scored a 31 of 22. Would you stick with him at number 3, Dan?
Well, that's the only position that's been really fluid. Had multiple players bat at 3. Washington, Rajat Patidar has been there. So I don't think they're worried about the stability of it. I just think they don't want Maxwell coming in too early, and they obviously like De Villiers down at 5. So that number 3 position could be anyone, and it is a little bit of a holding position. So I think Patidar did enough in the last game to suggest that he'll play again. But it is a position that I think they'll be incredibly fluid with throughout the season.
Yeah, it seems like a flexible option or a position like Dan says, Dale, and you could even bring back Shahbaz Ahmed, who may give you a few overs of left-arm spin if you need it. But does the specialist batsman look like the way to go?
Yeah, I'll give it to the specialist batsman. They have had a couple different players go in there, and I don't think they're really too bothered about that number, really.
Yeah.
I think they really rely on guys like Maxi and AB, and they don't want to get them in too early. They want to give them a little bit more time in case they lose 2 quick wickets or something. So I don't think they really mind who's batting in there. We've seen almost 3 or 4 different guys fill that role right now. But Patidar did a nice job the other night, scored some runs. You may as well now just carry on running with him in that position.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Dale Steyn, Dan Vettori. This was our preview to the game between Bangalore and Punjab on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout, powered by Intel.
We call it people technology.
インテル入ってる。